Welcome to another episode of In the Keep podcast. I'm your very own prophet of the drowned god, the Motherload. The show is all about the world of arena first-person shooters and the people who keep that world turning. These are players, these are streamers, the developers, the influencers. It is the will of the drowned god Cathala that our community bands together to worship her by fragging and gibbing one another into oblivion for all eternity in the arena. Alright, hey everybody, I just wanted to do a little intro again. I'm gonna first off apologize for the long delay between episodes. It's been a crazy little while, but I'm back in the game and here to stay. So this week we have Psygib. It's such a cool conversation. Like, this is, he's probably the top tier, highest tier Quake Champions player that I've ever gotten a chance to really speak to on this level, and I think that he offers a tremendous amount of really cool insight to his philosophy and what it's like to be playing. We talk about him being, what's it like to be on the big stage, and what's it like to deal with other players who, are really cool to him or who suck, and not suck as in players, but like suck as a person maybe. And just a lot of really good topics. We talk about drugs and eSports, and we talk about what it's like to win a shitload of money playing video games and all that. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Let's get in the keep with Psygib. How you doing, boss?
Doing pretty good.
Cool. And I think by the time anyone hears this, the new patch will be out for Quake Champions. So I just want to preface the conversation saying we may say things that are no longer true at that point. I'm not sure what to expect, really. And I wanted to give a quick shout out before we really get rolling to Greilark for kind of semi making this happen. He kind of gave me the courage to reach out to you just because, like he said, you guys are already sort of friends, and he mentioned the podcast to you before, and I really wanted to say thanks to him. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, he is a Quake player, but he's more of a DJ, and he does the drift radio and all that shit. So actually, how long do you guys actually go back?
Oh man, this is probably like 11 or 12 years now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I knew him when I was yay high, so cool.
What did y'all do?
We just played Quake 3 together.
Oh,
CTF
okay.
all the time.
Cool. And was CTF like your main? I think I've heard people say that about you, is that you do play CTF, or did play CTF more than Duel or anything like that for a very long time.
Yeah, that's actually what I first played when I got into Quake 3, was CTF. Like, I played a lot of different things. CTF was always the main thing for me.
So what is it about? I personally have never been like a big CTF guy, or don't have the experience level that some people do. What is it about CTF that makes you guys so fucking crazy?
Growing up, my family's always into sports, so like the main thing they loved was basketball, and like that whole hyper constant action going on. And that's like how CTF kind of was the thing for me.
Could definitely see that. Even to the extent that, like, when you're, if there were some way to watch CTF, I guess, and have it be like, 3-point view as if you were watching basketball, that would actually make it more understandable, I think, to someone who's not playing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just getting those camera angles all over the map and getting all the action. Just having one person just kind of limits it.
Yeah, and you can see that a bit in frag videos. People, use different camera angles and things like, and to that nature. But I really don't know if there's a first person way to like really feel what the CTF players are playing. I'll have to, I don't know. I'll give it another try. And also Quake Champions CTF needs to be. I think it's gonna be better. Yeah, but. All right, so where did you start? What was your first video game you ever played, ever?
I think that would have to be Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo.
It's been across the board. It's been all like either NES or Super Nintendo for everyone that's been on the show so far.
Yep.
Donkey Kong Country. What was like I love that game. I think I first played it on the Game Boy Advance though, or Color. I'm not sure.
It was the Advance, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Did you kind of slowly progress from there into shooters? Like, when did you kind of come into playing first person shooters?
It was always, the first person shooters was always there, but like when I was young, obviously my parents didn't want me to play violent things for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't really last long because that was probably like 96 or 97 I was playing that, and then 99 I was playing Quake 3, so like it was just a few years of Donkey Kong, Mega Man, Mario, Quake, Wolfenstein, and pretty much all the id Software shooters of the era.
That's also a running theme, apparently, is the parents didn't want me to play violent video games, and then, years later you're playing games with gibbing and blood and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I think there's a direct correlation to your parents telling you not to people doing it. Like, it's so weird. Well, it's
Yeah.
not weird. It's pretty normal, but that's just like a constant running theme amongst Quake players. Is they always say that.
For me, my parents, they actually both played Quake 3 with my uncle, and like some of their coworkers and stuff would play together, and so they, pushed me into it to play it. It's kind of a little weird to me still that my mom played it. So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
Violent Heart. I don't know if you know him. Had a similar experience. Like his dad would play with him all the time, and almost like pushed him to be like cultivated him to be a great Quake player in a way. What was the last like big tournament you actually played in? Was it DreamHack?
yeah,
QLL?
DreamHack winner.
Okay. And is that I believe you played Tox for your final match in that one?
Yeah, for duel I played Tox on stage.
Okay.
That was okay. The last match, what did I play? Actually, I played Tox, and then I did lose to him, and then I got knocked down. I played a few people. I actually don't remember who I lost to.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just going through like some old videos to kind of get a grasp on my perception of how you play, and there's a lot to uncork with that. But what was it like sitting on that stage? What was it like?
It's actually wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
I've played on stage quite a bit now, and I've gotten comfortable with it over the years. Was it 4 years now since I first played on stage?
Mm-hmm. What was
So,
the first tournament you played on stage?
QuakeCon 2014, playing CTF with Team Whelp. I don't know if you know about them.
Not super familiar. This is Quake Live, I'm assuming.
Quake
Yeah,
Live, yeah.
2014. Yeah. So I guess how did you get to that point? Did you just like pack your bags, go to QuakeCon, or like were you invited?
It's kind of a weird story
Yeah.
because I mean it's like a little bit of drama stuff before that, of course,
Mhm.
but I won't get into it. Basically, people didn't want to play with me because they thought I was a cheater, and then one of my friends actually invited me to a tournament to play with him, or not play with him, but it was like a draft tournament of a bunch of pro players. He thought I would fit in, and then I played and did really well, and I got second place, which is okay. And the next one I won with another batch of players. Like we were expected to do really bad, but we ended up winning it. And then I got invited to join Team Whelp, which is it was Rapha, Clock, and ID. They asked me to replace VG. Kind of big shoes to fill, but did my best.
And was the pressure on at that point? Like, were you nervous to do this at all, or was it just kind of like, all right, I can play. I know I can.
Yeah, it was just I'll do what I have to do and play. It was a little bit nervous when I heard it's like, oh, it's VG I have to replace, but it
I would
comes and goes. Just do what I
piss my
have.
pants if that happened to me. And let's see. So that over time brings you progressively into more and more of a pro playing scene, and you got into what is it, Team Ascent? Is that still
Yeah, I'm still
going?
part of Team Ascent.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the process of like getting on a team like that? Well, most people that are going to be listening to this have no real concept of how pro esports works, and I'm curious if you can give insight to that. So do you get a contract, or do they contact you?
It's a little mine. I got a little bit lucky because I had
Mm-hmm.
some friends who were in Team Ascent.
Mm-hmm.
As but the best thing to do usually is to contact all the orgs you can and say, hey, I'm looking for a team, and you tell them the events and the prize pool and like how good of a chance, and just give the whole rundown and be honest with them. Most of them, like if they see potential, they'll pick you up and try to get you to whatever you need to, and just keep improving, of course. But
What do you think that they see in a player like you when you're selling yourself to them?
I would hope they see experience and that I'm somewhat intelligent with the aim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of have an overall rounded off player. What
So
I hope to see.
does anyone like give you feedback or like give you shit if you have a bad day?
Usually people just praise me even when I'm doing bad, but I always tell them just talk shit to me. I don't care. Like I want the criticism. I want to always get better and make sure I'm not doing anything dumb. I think people sometimes get a little intimidated by pro players just because like they see them overall better, but everyone makes mistakes. Pro players just make less mistakes than they have to. So
So I'm picturing you and the boys in like a hockey locker room with like a coach just like screaming at you, kicking over. Like he comes in the room, he kicks over the trash can, knocks over all the sticks, and just yells at everybody like you guys are fucking embarrassing me and all. Like I don't know how it actually works, but like what's the biggest criticism you've ever gotten? Like
It's always probably from Rapha. Just whatever he says, he's always just like hardcore, just right into me and just cuts deep. He doesn't care because he just wants to, he wants to see me improve, but cuts deep sometimes.
yeah, I feel like anything he says is amplified by like 1,000. Though even if I said the same thing that he said, it wouldn't mean as much. If he says something, it's probably fucking true. Like there's nothing you could do about it.
It's crazy. Like he'll say something and cut into you, and then he'll just write this long essay as to why you are completely wrong if you argue with him.
Ooh,
Yeah, like it's just he just keeps going and going to make sure like you know what's wrong and to make sure to correct it.
I would just accept that. I think if Rafa's even talking to you or trying to help you, that speaks volumes to like the kind of player
Yeah.
you really are.
Yeah, I don't argue. Like I used to when I was younger, 2014, like I would kind of like say, well, like try to do this, but I can't. He would just kind of go on a little bit, but I don't anymore. I kind of listen to him more, of course. Some things I, disagree on. It's just different matter of preference, styles, and all that. But definitely, most of the time, he's right.
Oh, how old were you when you started playing like very seriously?
Oh, very serious, like high level. How long was that? I think I was only 19.
Holy shit.
I'm not sure, but something like that. 19, I think.
That's a young age to be just like doing all that stuff. I mean, I'm 23 now. I can't even imagine 4 years ago having that kind of pressure on me, or what I'm doing now. Either way, did that shape your like philosophy on gaming at all at an early age, or has it kind of stayed consistent?
I've always been competitive, but then
Mhm.
when that year happened, I think the drive just kind of went up a notch or two. Like just always wanted to get to that level and always competing. It's really hard to play games nowadays if I'm not like trying my hardest because it's just I have to do my best now.
Are you competitive like across real life?
Not always, but
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah. I just like really want to win at something, and I'll just push for it no matter what it is.
I have to imagine you've got to be to some extent like obsessive compulsive to like really get to the point that you're at or higher. And I could just see when I talk to guys like you that you all tend to have a similar quality in that like you're always really nice people who are like humble and you like act like it's like yeah I'm just another guy, I'm humble, and you don't talk down to people, but in reality you probably should because it's like insulting to the rest of us that you act like you're not different because you are. And I don't know, there's something going on in your head that I want to get to, and all of you people. What do you mean, you people? That I just want to. I don't even necessarily intend to be like that great of a player. I'm not really trying to get there. I just want to really understand the psyche of someone who is so skilled at anything, really, whether that be shooters or I don't know golf, architecture. Doesn't matter. Like it's impressive that anyone could be that good at anything. With the further going on about your playing philosophy, do you have like a training regimen that you follow?
Um, I mean, before I used to play a lot, like all the time, just constantly
Hmm.
playing, but I realized that that wasn't really good for me. I need to have really meaningful practice. As Shane explains it best, Rafa, he always says to don't just practice efficiently. Always make sure you're trying to learn something every time you play. And that actually really helped me a long time ago. So I've gotten better just from that, like small little advice.
I've seen it go both ways with people. Some people just think I need to play as many hours as humanly possible, and then just kind of get their experience from there. But I think what you're saying, especially if you want to have a life, makes more sense.
Yeah.
To yeah, there's no way you could spend 18 hours a day playing Quake and then also like I don't know have a family or a job or anything else.
Hanging out with friends,
Yeah,
casual time.
it's
It's
important
insane.
too, though. Like you gotta decompress. What do you do to decompress?
I used to watch movies, but nowadays I think I just hang out with friends and watch some streams here and there, chill, study a bit.
What are you studying?
I'm studying for a CCNA. I don't know if you
Hmm.
know what that is. Okay.
Cool. Are you gonna? Is that your career path, or is that just the
Yeah.
backup plan for Quake?
Um At this point, I hope Quake succeeds, but it's
Mhm.
kind of like whatever works out. If Quake takes off and does well, or gaming, I can I'll obviously finish the CCNA up, and then I'll keep doing the competitive stuff for as long as I can, because it won't always be here, as Rapha says.
That's
So
true. Yeah. Quake is one of the weird esports where you can have like a really long career, and like Rafa would be the best example. He's been around for freaking ever now. He started very
11,
young,
11
and
years.
yeah, it's one of the few esports where you really see like athletes have longevity, because most what's the average length of an esports I'm gonna do it again, quotes, athlete, it's like a couple of years tops, right?
Right? Yeah.
And then we see in Quake, we see people, well into their 30s maintain a high skill, high level of play. What is it? Do you think there's anything to that?
I feel like mechanics can be like just muscle memory at some point. So it's not like you don't have to have this insane aim like the young kids always do, like Clawz and Sirius Wenger. They all have really good aim, but like you can have it up to an optimal point where it's like you don't need any more. It's just all about the mental game.
Other than Rafa, who do you look up to the most?
Probably 04.
Okay.
I love
Why?
him because I used to watch him actually. The first time I went to QuakeCon, like the year before, I watched all the demos and CTF and was watching him play, and I was like really impressed. And before that, I watched all the Quake 3 demos as well, just seeing how he played and seeing how intelligent he was, and then learning from him. And then I finally met him, and he was kind of a dick, but I still love him.
That's all that matters, really. I mean,
Uh,
sometimes you don't ever want to meet your heroes. Sometimes,
well, I mean, we're cool now. We're good.
yeah.
Like he's the esports manager. I always hang out with him at LANs. And, he's offering to buy me drinks because of a story of him a long time ago that I won't get into as well.
Do you have anyone? You don't have to actually like disclose if you don't want to step on people's toes. Is there anyone that you just like can't stand?
Can't
Can't
stand.
can't do it. You ran into him. You can't do it.
That is a tough one because I usually don't hate people.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine. That's a perfectly valid answer.
just very neutral.
Yeah.
I think the only person I can't really stand is I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but Thumpa.
I no. Tell me the story.
Okay. So the basic gist of him is he's completely insane. He has this massive ego that I'm pretty sure people think he's trolling. I think he's just serious and he's just really weird about it. But he always talks about how he's a U.S. Air Force pilot, that he makes more money, and the whole just more women, all that stuff. And
If he were an Air Force pilot, he wouldn't be telling people.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's really weird. They always make the joke that he's the janitor at the Air Force, but he, there was a huge thing. I don't know the people involved. I just know that he got really mad about it. But apparently there was. Well, I don't know if I should probably get into this. It's a little
No,
bit.
no, 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 no. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
All right. Well, at one of the lands, supposedly, someone saw some cocaine on someone's table in.
Right. Not the guy you were
Uh,
talking about. Just
no, no, no,
someone saw
no.
some. Okay.
Somebody saw something. It was like some white powder. Supposedly it was cocaine on in someone's room. He went and told Thumpa, and Thumpa had this huge thing with no evidence other than a guy talking about it from like 3 in the morning. Like there was no clear evidence as to whether or not it was true. He just made a huge deal about it. How cocaine is enhancing people's performance at lands, even though it was afterwards. So it wouldn't really matter that much, even if it's true or not. Like I don't approve, obviously, but if it did happen, it was afterwards. So it's like they did a celebratory thing. So I don't really care that much.
That is interesting, though. So, like, do you think that there are performance enhancing drugs in esports? I think the answer is probably obvious, but
Yeah, I do.
yeah.
Good old Adderall.
Yeah, I'd say like like uppers, Ritalin, Adderall, Vyvanse, whatever.
Vitamins. Yeah, yeah.
Big time. And then I'd have to imagine some guys are like popping a Xanax or a Dramamine to try to like not hyperventilate when they go out in front of people either.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
always like suspicions of like who does what, and sometimes there's like obviously we can't tell if it's true or not, but there's always suspicions. Things a little bit fishy. I won't say names as to who.
Yeah. Do you think that's a crutch, or is it just whatever to you guys? Like you just whatever, I'll beat anyone no matter what they do.
Yeah, like it's not a huge deal because if they take it, like I always feel like they're just so mentally focused, they just kind of go quiet. If it's like a team mode, that is,
Hmm.
they don't talk as much. They just so focused on doing whatever they're doing, and they forget about everything else. So it's more of a crutch than anything. If it's dual, maybe it might be an issue, but if they're really good, like Rapha, DeHang, Cooler, whatever, they can handle it, no problem. Aim isn't everything.
That's true. What other qualities about the game other than aim? I mean, we talked about aim a bit, but what do you think sets you apart in that regard?
Um, I always like to say like tactics, like the idea of like where to go and how I go about things in like fights,
Hmm.
like the decision. I guess decision making more so than, but just like overall what I do, my decision making. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. From my more limited perspective, but when I do watch you play, you seem to have like almost a superhuman and different, like unique from other player handle on how you do that. Your movement is like very quickly between like just walking around. You like walk a lot more than I've seen most people do, and you make these weird decisions that like I wouldn't even think were an option for myself, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. I think I saw you on Blood Covenant, and you were able to just play keep away from Tox forever, like to just rebuild your stack and everything. And it was like a superhuman long amount of time. I want to say the round went into overtime for quite a while, but that's really impressive to see. Just the way that you handle yourself in those kinds of situations, because most people are just like so nervous they want to get it over with. And I've seen best example I can really think of is Avic. That guy could play forever passive. He's almost more
Yeah.
comfortable looking playing passive than he is in control of the map.
Yeah, that I guess that comes with experience
Mhm.
almost. I feel, but also like the way I handle situations, I just kind of pick a decision and just go with it. I don't like to hesitate. I realized a long time ago hesitating was never good for me. So I just kind of did something and relied on my strengths with my aim and my positioning and whatever else at the time I was doing.
Yeah, not dipping your toe in, just jumping in the pool, like one way or
Jump
the
in the
other.
pool.
Make the best of it.
It's a puddle or if it's a pool, I don't care. I'm going in.
Another thing I noticed about you in particular is your handling of weapon choice is crazy good. Like it seems surreal to watch someone like you, and there's other players again that share that quality, but like your handle on the tri-bolt is ridiculous. When did that start? Because I think what was it? There was a big tournament last year where it just all of a sudden everybody started using the tri-bolt. I can't remember what it was.
Maybe Tor?
M-
DreamHack Tor?
Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, how did you get a handle on that weapon? Doesn't matter.
I just honestly I spent a lot of time in pubs like figuring out like what the distance was,
Hmm.
like how far it would shoot, and like obviously the damage output was insane at the time. So I just figured out like the timings on the try. I don't know, like the bolts, I guess the bolts of the try, and the distance, like how far it would go, and just like getting a good feel for it. So then I thinking about it like in some games, like situations where I would use it, like where like little spots here and there, and then just timings exactly of when I needed to do
So
to
like
um to do it.
when you're on the low ground or when you're trying to spam an area and you don't want to waste rockets, like sort of that degree.
Well, like I always try to like not really calculate, but just kind of plan out of what would be happening in a game.
Hmm.
Like sometimes you'll see this if I mess up, like or I get really confused, but I'll have certain fights where I know exactly what I need to do to win. And so if I'll go in and I'll just shoot someone and then shoot a flick rocket and then just keep going because I know that like it's gonna kill him and I can't focus on him anymore. I need to have the maximum damage output. So I just keep doing that. Sometimes you see me mess up, shoot him, and he doesn't die, so I have to turn around and kill him and then, I realize okay, I screwed up and I just gotta what do I have to do from here? Just kind of a lot of situations like that where I just know what I need to do.
Another thing that I see you do is like quick finish with the shotgun. It's almost like a signature move like just if you can't win the fight some other way, you'll just. I saw you were on Molten Falls and you like came up the jump pad, turned around. I think this was against Rapha actually, but you just popped him with a shotgun almost long distance. It was crazy. Like that those kinds of decisions that really impress people like me though.
Yeah, I that actually comes from TDM, just
Yeah.
utilizing every single weapon in Quake Live. Playing it so much, I
Oh.
just got used to it, and that's like helped a lot.
That's actually interesting. Like that, we're getting to the root of the problem here, or not really the problem, but the source of that is you play in team modes mostly, so that forces you to get comfortable with every weapon because of
Yes.
whatever's available to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. You see a lot of people just depend on basically 3 weapons, maybe the machine gun or shotgun. Some people are just like they only play with the shotgun. They might as well not have any other weapons available to them. Hop smack, I'm calling you out, man. Um, but he beat me. I can't lie about it. What's the rail like for you? How does it come across to you?
It's definitely my favorite gun. It's
Mhm.
just like butter. I actually, again, like playing the modes, like everything just comes together. But in Quake 3, after what happened? I was playing Insta Freeze Tag, and so I played that for several years. So like I got so comfortable just using the railgun, and that's what helped me in Quake Live get better, shooting 75 rail
Mhm.
back in the day, just like constantly, never missing kind of thing.
Yeah, the transition was huge for me. Like I started out, I'd only ever played Quake 3 really before I came to Quake Champions, and the rail did not translate for me at all. I was essentially useless for the first 3 months I played with the railgun. And then I had to like really just have a come to Jesus with myself, and I was like copying every pro's set like mouse settings and changing mouses just to like try to figure out like how do I make this even part of my utility anymore, because there was a point where like I'm dueling people, they didn't even like if they knew me, they did not worry about the railgun. They didn't try to deny it. They weren't scared. And
Yeah.
I've seen matches where like it seemed like you were maybe struggling with the railgun, but you tend to you seem like you're handling the weapons is so good you can kind of rush in and force a different kind of fight if you're not feeling it that day.
I guess it depends. Sometimes online, obviously, like the servers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the servers in netcode, but sometimes it does feel really weird. So you can't rely on it always. But sometimes it's just everything clicks and it just doesn't miss. So I love those days, but I don't genuinely rely on the railgun anymore like I did a long time ago.
Is it an aim training thing at all for you, or do you just kind of like today I feel it, today I don't?
It's just if things are clicking mentally, I'm feeling a little bit more confident with it. So I'll try to utilize it in situations I know that I'll need it. So that's when I go for the shots, and if I don't hit them, then it's like, okay, I have to, have a backup plan here. So I do different things as well, but no more railgun reliance.
What's like the favorite match you've ever played? If you could go through one,
Uh, any mode at all?
anything doesn't matter. What's the most interesting stuff you've done?
My favorite match was definitely would probably be the CTF match against Unknown in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
the loser bracket finals. We actually lost them in the upper bracket, and I had to I've never played against European teams ever, and so that was the first experience. It was a little bit different than Americans. They were more definitely more rail heavy, definitely just constantly trying to aim duel you the whole time. Never teamwork, team pushes. It would just go in, hit as many rails as you can, and then get out. And it was really weird for me, so I had to adjust a bit. And so when I did, I just covered and going through the losers bracket, I just got more and more confident. And then eventually we played them again, and I was able to probably play my best game, some of my best games in that loser bracket final.
Have you ever
And
played CTF in other games other than Quake?
competitively, no,
Okay,
just Quake.
gotcha. I think you were still on a train of thought there. I'm sorry.
Uh, no, I was just finishing it. That was some of the best CTF I've ever played.
Is there a
I really
video
enjoyed it.
to
Yeah,
it?
there is.
Okay, I'll point
I
that
could
out to
probably find
people.
it.
Yeah, if you want
Sure,
to send it to me after the fact, I can link it to the actual podcast.
sure.
So, have you ever played Open Arena? Experimented with that game?
Yeah, I actually have. I remember that was a few years ago.
Yeah. Um, so I recently, because of the nature of what I do, I talked to a guy called Dots. Anyone's listened to episode 2 got that. But so their CTF is really interesting. They have these mods they've implemented into the game. So because they have such a small player base, they tend to play with really high ping from Eastern United States to Western Europe all the time. But they have this thing called projectile delag, so that you can you can play that game with 150 plus ping and shoot a rocket and it's going to hit exactly where you shot it. It is so weird, and it just like breaks my brain every time I do it.
Huh.
I have no idea how it's coded or whatever. I don't know if the rocket's just like sped up or anything. It feels exactly like you don't have, like, it feels like you just have low ping the whole time, even though in reality you should be lagging.
Weird.
And I'm interested if that can be translated across, into other games, because that would change the nature of how people practice. Or, like you said, you'd never had the opportunity to play against a European team. What would that be like if you could just do it any day of the week?
That would be awesome. Like just constant practice against the Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
Just get variety of games. That'd be really good. Do you know how it works? I'm actually curious. Like, do you know?
I genuinely, I don't know the first thing about computer programming at all. I'd like to learn over time, but currently I have no way. I'm gonna try to have another one of their guys who actually does the programming on the show to try to make it make sense to me. But yeah, sometimes when it comes to coding stuff or anything, if you're an expert in it, you can't. Some people can't talk down to the a person who doesn't understand it and make that. Not everybody's Neil deGrasse Tyson, I guess. That is the best example of someone who's like, he can speak about genius ideas but make it make sense to the common person. I have to find that guy, essentially.
Right.
All right, so you're still playing on the team. 2v2s went away, so what's the plan team wise? If you guys are gonna play competitive team modes.
Nothing's really set right now.
Mhm.
Definitely, it's me and Brick on the team. As far as I know, Death Row does not want to play, and we're still looking for two. We've been talking with a few different people. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, try them out, make the team hopefully be better than Liquid. That's the goal.
That would be interesting to see, like a North American team finally like start, or at least give them competition, because it's been just Rapha and Hangman all the way. And then in Europe we got what, Team AMD, but they released a shitload of people.
I know. I don't think it's Namiga, Cypher and Havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got released, and I'm pretty sure Maestro's not making a CTF team at the time. I don't know in Europe who's like is going to be playing CTF on big orgs. There's plenty of players, a big pool, but I don't know what they'll be doing.
Do you think CTF could work? Like, do you think it can be fixed in Quake Champions?
Yeah, for sure. They already added the overtime. That's like a huge difference from before.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I don't mind the asymmetrical maps. That doesn't really bother me. I think just a few tweaks to it, like the flag drag. I haven't tried it out, but I guess we'll see how it feels. But just things to nerf the fast characters a little bit and be good.
Yeah, I feel like some of the things that bother like a normal everyday player, the things that just drive them insane, like pros tend to find a way to just not worry about that. Like, no, we're just gonna play anyway, and we'll figure out how to be the best at it. And instead of, some people will just bitch and complain all day long, which has been me at some point. I'm sure on recording, saying like, "How the hell am I supposed to catch Anarchy? It's never gonna happen. I can't do it." Shoot him in the back, and he goes faster. And but the real response to that is we'll play as Anarchy, figure it out, or play as Sorlag or Slash, get good at it because you're gonna need it. Right. What do you do?
I just don't let them get the flag.
It's that simple.
I just put a brick wall up and they don't get through.
You play defense most of the time?
Yeah, I play what's called high D or mid.
Mm-hmm.
Mid. And I'm the guy who's supposed to go help flag D, then push out, and then control the whole middle area. It's a little complicated position. But
what's a typical champ pick for your position?
There hasn't been a meta, but I think Visor's probably the best thing so far.
The faster strafe jumping visual, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Medium weight. I like to play with my very limited experience here, but I like to play as Aizen and just play straight defense and let the rest of the team kind of go at it.
Yeah. I think that'll be the meta. Just have him throw a turret down and he can wander around a little bit.
It's an extra defender, especially on Citadel. You can just drop it like right in front of that first jump pad that comes up to the flag. Just drop it right in front of there, and you'll know they're coming before they ever get there.
Yep. Nice little warning signal.
Yep. So on plus forward, you are ranked 13 in the world dueler.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found this out last night. I don't know if these numbers are even still true because I don't know how the updates actually work. But you're behind, just behind Tox, Base, Cooler, Xron, Clawz, Kilson, Sirius, Venger, Razy, Avix, Cypher, and finally Rapha.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're on the first page though. It doesn't matter what the hell you do. If you're on the first page, if you're even on the same page as I know every name on that list, and most of the ones after you. Like, how does that? Do you just walk around day to day feeling like a normal dude?
I'm a little surprised, honestly. I'm on that list, like that
Yeah,
high up.
I don't know. I don't make the list.
I mean, I guess I feel normal. Like, I feel like I'm really good, but I don't feel amazing. I guess at top 13 for sure.
So if you were talking to someone who maybe didn't really follow the pro scene but thought they were hot shit at Quake, and they were like, hey man, you want to play a game? They challenge you. You don't get that like warm, evil, fuzzy feeling inside, or you're like, yeah, you're about to get fucking murdered. Like,
Well, if people have egos, I kind of like to take them down just a little bit. That's always a good feeling.
do you get accused of cheating in pubs all the time?
Oh yeah, I still do. Nothing's changed.
Well, of that list of players, though, like, is there anyone you haven't played that you really, really want to play?
In duel,
Or period? Is there a team? It isn't either way.
I've played. I don't think I've played Zron in team modes. Oh no, I have played him in team modes in 2v2. We almost beat Clawz and him, but we didn't for
But
unfortunate circumstances.
but we didn't. That sucks.
Yeah, we were like way ahead of them in at DreamHack Winter,
Mhm.
and then the time limit was set to 5 minutes, not 15. So we had to restart and had 10 minutes, and then we lost after that. We lost the first map. We won the second map, and then we lost the third map by like only 5 points or something. It was really it really sucked.
So I don't know. This may be sacrilegious to some people. I'm a big fan of Clawz. What's it like playing against him? What do you worry about with him? Just crazy aim?
I mean, his aim is definitely good. I think the scariest part is his confidence more
Yeah.
so, because he's just not afraid to do like every time you think he's not gonna do that, he just goes and does it.
Yeah. That's
Like
what
he just goes in.
he's like exciting to watch. I guess is like no one really thinks, or I don't know, maybe they do. For the most part, people don't think like Clawz is the best player. Everybody seems to agree that that would be Rapha. But you know, we've seen Clawz take 2 QuakeCons in a row. But he's exciting to watch. He's like a rogue, crazy. I the best thing I could compare him to is like he's like the Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of character. Like you don't have any idea what he's gonna do. He might flip off the boss and throw a beer across the room, or like it's so cool, man. Quake Champions especially has become like a celebrity esport in a way. I mean, it's definitely not the biggest one, but for the fans like me, it's really interesting to finally be able to like really follow it, see it all on the big stage. The production at Quake at all of the events has gone up exponentially over the past like 4 years.
Definitely.
Yeah, like even you said your first event was QuakeCon like 2014. If you go back and watch the production now, it looks like really it looks like what it was. It's kind of small cheese, and now I just look you see it come on the stream now. It's like this big. It's like WrestleMania or the fucking Super Bowl.
I know, and they have the big stage. I don't know if they're gonna still do them, but they had the big stages that they built for just for the event. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The camera work and you'll have like the cool like red lighting and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just exciting. The other thing on here on your information that I wanted to try to confirm is your winnings are totaled up to be like something around like $13,600 in tournament winnings. Is that true? You don't have to tell everybody how much money you got. I'm just.
Let me see. It's been a while. I don't think so actually.
Okay. I wonder where they're getting this number from then. It says this is 20 different tournaments. They're saying
might just be Quake Champions.
Okay. So more than that.
Just a little bit more, yeah.
Okay. So you could just conceivably assuming that you had you have your real life job in check or whatever it is that you do. You could just buy a new car from having played video games.
Pretty much.
I mean, I can't even conceive of how that must feel. And do you make money on stream at all?
I barely make money from stream.
Okay.
So it's a tiny bit. Like I haven't I've just been studying. Like I haven't worked for a little bit. So
Oh, that's good. Studying is
so just
important, man. I'm doing both. So and this. So
uh,
it's a lot.
yeah.
And I'm married, but we don't don't have to go into all of it. Another question. A lot of people have kind of said, I think it was maybe Zoot watching you play, like they felt like you had been playing a long time. You've been around. Obviously, you've been playing Quake forever. Everyone knows. I can't think of a time when I didn't know your name. They say like you just now started really trying to be a pro. What is that true? And if so, why now?
I guess that is true. Yeah, like before it was not really about being a pro, it was just competing. And 2014, 15, 16 it was all just compete and to do to have fun almost. But then I guess when Quake Champions came out, it was kind of like an opportunity of like a second chance to do better and to be the best of what I can be. So I got more motivation and it's really exciting for me to play. I guess it's like it's like seeing the game for the first time and I really want to play more. So that's how it feels for me.
Did you have friends that like encouraged you, like this is your moment, or was it just all internal? Like I have to do this.
It was all internal, just thinking about it and wanting it.
That's wonderful, man. Um, Last topic, and I'll let you go get on with your life. You've been playing a lot of Apex, man. We got to talk about this.
I don't know.
Well, it's
uh,
a lot of people get worried about this kind of stuff, and I don't care at all. I hope you're having fun. Truly, like I want you to play whatever the hell you want. But when we see like Dehang playing Overwatch, we're like, why isn't Dehang playing Quake today? And then people got really nervous, especially like right around like after the Christmas New Year's patch and all that. Like it's just like we got like and then they fire like we already talked about Mistro like letting people go and all this. So we're like, is Quake? People get really scared that Quake's gonna die, and I don't think it ever will. But what are you doing over there?
um, well, I wanted something to compete in, and this
Yeah.
is like something like a little pastime. I probably won't be playing Apex very much, in the coming. I guess I will be. There's a little league coming up, and
Mhm.
there's a qualifier right now. I'm playing that, and it's just for fun. I'm not expecting to make a living off of it or compete a high level.
Would you though, if the opportunity presented itself?
I think I would play Quake first, and I would just make that as long as I could. Then I would go for Apex. It's
Okay,
like in the baby stages. I wouldn't try. It's like there's no set competitive format or tournaments or anything. It's just people are having fun with it. So
that's true. It's a really interesting game.
oh yeah,
Especially, I personally, I never liked any battle royale game I've ever tried, and I even still kind of feel the same way about Apex. But when I did play it, I was like very impressed. I'm like, okay, if I were gonna play a battle royale, like it would have to
yeah,
be something like this.
yeah. That's the game right there.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
It rewards aggressive play for sure.
Right.
Every other one is just sit in a corner and wait. This one at least you can do something with it, pushing into people.
I feel like
But
the public gaming part of it is greatly improved by the fact that you all, you don't have to, but it's highly encouraged to all drop in one area and actually have to work as a team. You don't just get paired up with some rogue jackass in pubs.
yeah, yeah, and the pinging system really good.
What is it about the pinging system? I'm not familiar.
Well, you can just like ping everything you want to do. Like you're pushing here, you're falling back, you're gonna loot here. There's an enemy here. Just like it's like pretty complex, and I actually appreciate it. I'm surprised no game has done it before, but we're here now. So
No, that's great, man. Is there anything you wanted to plug or announce or say before we sign off of here?
just shout out to all my friends. Thanks to Ascent for sponsoring, and
Mm.
I just look forward to the future. Thank you for interviewing.
Yeah, man. This is just fun to me. Like I love the fact that I have an excuse now to reach out to guys like you. Like before, there was no real reason. I was just like some asshole. Really, this has been a really cool experience, and thank you for doing it because without guys like you, I wouldn't have this wouldn't be a thing for me. So I appreciate it deeply.
Glad to help.
Well, if you think about anything else you want to drop in, let me know after the fact. We could come back. We could do a second episode anytime. You're always welcome. Take care, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's another podcast in the bag. Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation as much as I enjoyed having it. A few plugs before we get out of here. First of all, State of Quake podcast. If you're a subscriber, you already know about it. If you're not, if you're just catching this on a link, please go check those guys out. If you're into Quake Champions, they know all things talk about it all the time. Slip and UNKiND are great guys. With that said, they also host the State of Quake Discord, where you can join up in their events every single Saturday. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. They rotate through bracket-style events. You got Diamonds in the Rough. That's Gold 5 and below duelers. Bracket-style tournament. You got the Blind Date 2v2. That one is hella fun. Super great. Love it every time you get a random partner and you just get in there and you kick ass or not. It doesn't matter. You have fun. And then the classic duel bracket, I've even seen some prize pools start to pop up for that. If you're trying to get your name out there or just get some experience, like, you know, what it's like to be competitive, that's a great place to go. Also, every Thursday, Slip hosts the King of the Hill, the State of Quake King of the Hill, classic King of the Hill rules. You'll enjoy that, I hope. I don't know. But you're encouraged to go try it out. Join Cathalas Keep if you wish. You're invited. It's the home base for this podcast. It's just all things arena first-person shooters, great community. Some fun events, you know, hopefully popping up around. It's been rough lately, but we'll get there. And let's see, what else? We got, Smango. We got to shout out Smango. He's the boss, my friend. And he's got, Quake Fans, he's got a lot of stuff. I'm just going to list it all off. QuakeFans.net, arena first-person shooter news, articles, all that kind of stuff. His YouTube channel, that's where like a lot of our past events are on there, or just content in general that you might enjoy because you like this podcast, maybe you like what he does. With that said, he has a podcast called the Full Tech Podcast, and that's one for, you know, if you're of that niche audience, you're just, you know, getting used to PCs, or you want to know more about technology in general, see some reviews, hear a crazy redneck just ramble about what indie game pissed him off this week. Doesn't matter. He's a great guy, and I think you'd enjoy the show. Lastly, if you know someone in your life, getting serious, folks, who makes excellent craft beer. I'm not saying we're looking for sponsors. I'm just saying if I got free beer, I would definitely drink it, and I would definitely talk about it on the show. Just saying. Love you guys. Stay in the keep. Peace out.